Deborah's story is just one of many where women played pivotal roles in biblical history. In a time when patriarchal norms dictated every aspect of life, Deborah's emergence as a leader was nothing short of revolutionary. Positioned within the tumultuous period of the judges, her role defied conventional boundaries, not just as a judge, but as a prophetess and military leader. This era, often marked by chaos and moral decay, saw the Israelites repeatedly turn away from their faith, only to be dominated by neighboring oppressors. Enter Deborah, a figure cloaked not only in wisdom, but in mystery. Historical texts, particularly the Book of Judges, paint her as a luminary in dark times. Yet one must wonder, what narratives were left untold? Her story unfolds at a time when women were seldom allowed voices in the public sphere, let alone in the realms of religious and military power. Why then does Deborah rise to such prominence? Was there a threat she posed that necessitated her remembrance in Scripture, yet under potentially redacted or softened terms? Biblical scholars and skeptics alike have pondered whether her portrayal was tempered to prevent her from appearing too powerful, too radical, or too influential, given the era's stringent gender roles. She held court under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim, where people came to her to settle their disputes. This was not just a mere advisory role. This was a position of immense power, suggesting her judgments were seen as divinely guided. Her unique position, commanding both respect and authority, traditionally reserved for men, positioned her as a beacon of potential upheaval in the societal and religious order of the time. In our exploration, we peel back the layers of time and text to question the sanitized version of history. Was Deborah a symbolic figure, reshaped by later writers to fit a more acceptable narrative? Or was she truly as formidable and controversial as the scraps of history suggest, a radical woman who could command armies and sway the masses with her prophetic insights? As Deborah's influence grew under her palm tree, so too did the tensions within the tribes of Israel. The Israelites were fragmented, their unity threatened not just by external Canaanite oppressors, but by internal strife and a faltering adherence to their covenant with God. In this fractious landscape, Deborah's role transcended that of a traditional judge. She became a symbol of potential unity and divine justice, a necessary force in rekindling the Israelites' national identity and spiritual fervor. The situation reached a critical point when Jabin, the Canaanite king, exerted crushing dominance over Israel through his commander Sisera, who terrorized the land with 900 iron chariots and unchecked brutality. The Israelites' cries for deliverance grew desperate, highlighting their dire need for a leader who could not only inspire but also execute divine justice. Here, Deborah's prophetic voice called for an unlikely hero, Barak, to lead a rebellion against Sisera's forces. However, her call came with a controversial ultimatum. She would only go to battle if Barak accompanied her, signaling not only her strategic acumen, but also a profound challenge to the societal norms of her time. This demand, often debated among scholars, might suggest her awareness of her controversial position as a woman in authority and her need for male validation in the eyes of the people. Or perhaps it was a tactical move to ensure unity and commitment from her military leader. The anticipation for the ensuing battle built as Israelites from various tribes gathered under Deborah's and Barak's leadership, a testament to her ability to mobilize a nation. But beneath this unifying call to arms lay undercurrents of deep-seated fear and uncertainty. Would the disparate tribes of Israel truly coalesce into a formidable force under a female leader? Could divine prophecy truly dictate military success? The stage was set for a confrontation that would not only test the mettle of Israel's tribes, but also the legitimacy of Deborah's leadership. The Battle of Mount Tabor loomed as a pivotal moment in Israelite history, orchestrated under the strategic and prophetic guidance of Deborah. Her plan was audacious and laden with divine promise, yet the stakes were immensely high. On the day of the battle, nature itself seemed to conspire with Deborah. As Barak led the Israelite forces down from Mount Tabor, a sudden and torrential downpour turned the Kishon River into a quagmire, trapping Sisera's iron chariots in the mud. This miraculous twist of fate was seen not only as a strategic victory, but also as a sign of divine approval for Deborah's leadership. The ensuing chaos among the Canaanite ranks was palpable. Sisera, in a desperate bid for survival, abandoned his chariot and fled on foot, a move that marked the beginning of the end for Jabin's oppressive regime. The battle raged around the mired chariots, with the Israelites, emboldened by the turn of events and the prophetic assurance of their leader, routing their adversaries with unanticipated ferocity. The climax of the conflict saw Sisera seeking refuge in the tent of Jael, a Kenite woman. In a twist filled with irony and symbolic justice, Jael delivered the final blow, driving a tent peg through Sisera's temple as he lay sleeping, an act that would seal the victory for Israel and underscore the role of women in this divine drama. Deborah's victory at the Battle of Mount Tabor was more than a military triumph. It was a profound affirmation of her role as a prophetess and leader. The battle's outcome reverberated through the annals of history, not only because of the dramatic defeat of the Canaanites, but also due to the way it challenged and eventually shifted societal perceptions about leadership and gender roles in ancient Israel. The immediate aftermath of the Battle of Mount Tabor was a period of profound transformation for the Israelites. The decisive victory, widely attributed to Deborah's leadership and divine favor, catalyzed a significant shift in the social and spiritual fabric of the nation. The impact was felt both immediately and deeply, as the Israelites experienced an unprecedented 40 years of peace, a respite that seemed almost miraculous after years of tumult and oppression